Shabbat shalom. Happy Sabbath, everybody. Just making sure we got good sound, good presentation. We looking good. We got good sound. Good sound. All praises. All praises. So, I'd like to give all praise to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, the Creator of heaven and earth, Creator of all things, Father of all spirits, the one who led the children of Israel out of Egypt with a mighty hand. I'd like to send greetings to the 12 tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, especially the one that's alive, not part of the walking dead, the one men, women, and children that's keeping the commandments, doing the work of the Most High day in, day out, spreading His word, spreading His gospel, doing the work that's going to get us out of this captivity. So all praises for that. Let's before we jump into it, let's open up with the reading of the law. It's Leviticus chapter 20. Leviticus chapter 20.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, starting at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones, and I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he had given of his seed unto Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth of his seed unto Molech, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and I will cut him off, and all that go are whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and I will cut him off from among his people. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God. And ye shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord which sanctify you. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall be surely put to death. And the man that lieth with his father's wife, have uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man take a wife, and her mother is wickedness, they shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast, and lie down thereto, that thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness. He shall bear his iniquity. And if a man shall lie with a woman, having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood. And both of them shall be cut off from among their people. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, nor of thy father's sister, for he covereth his near kin, they shall bear their iniquity. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin, they shall die childless. And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, that the land whether I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out.
Okay, right there. That's the reading of the law, Leviticus chapter 21 through 22. Let's get Revelations 14 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
So it's about the commandments of God and the faith of Christ. Let's get one more, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
So that's the conclusion of the whole matter. All praises to the Most High for the reading of the law. All right, let's open up class. Today's class is titled, What to the Slave is the 4th of July? We know it's coming up, and we know when these wicked holidays come up, we got to rebuke them. We got to, first, we go learn about them. It's crazy because since coming into the truth, but before coming into the truth, you know, we celebrate all these wicked days. I really never knew what 90% of them was about until I came into the truth. I had no idea what I was celebrating. I just knew I got a day off work and we got to eat some food.
And blow stuff up.
Yeah, the fireworks, yeah. The fireworks, yeah, that's, ain't know nothing about these damn holidays. Until you come into the truth and you start realizing the truth matters. When you're in the world, the truth don't matter to you. How people walk up and down all day, the truth can slap them in the face. They keep walking. So today, the title is based off, and this is crazy. I don't know much about this brother, but just doing some research, in 1882, on the 2nd of July, they picked Frederick Douglass to give a speech for the 4th of July. And he gave a speech, and the speech was titled, What to the Slave is the 4th of July. He rebuked the hell out of these people in this speech. The book is about 20-some pages. He gave them hell. And it's crazy because you think about, this is 1852. This ain't 2020 nothing, 2010, 1990. This is 1852 in the heart of slavery. This black man went up there and rebuked the hell out of America on the 4th of July in 1852. And so this class, we gonna go over what he said in this speech. Because I didn't think Frederick Douglass, he must have had some pull back then to get up there and talk to these Edomites like he did in this speech. Have anybody read this speech? You read this speech? It's crazy, ain't it? He rebuked the hell out of them in this speech, man. So we gonna go over that speech today, tied with the scriptures. And just to know, like, our people just celebrate anything without doing the work, without even knowing what they celebrating. So we gonna go over that. We gonna watch a couple videos. So let's start off with the history of the 4th of July. Let's get that quick history. We go look at the history of the 13 colonies and slavery. So let's get that first video. Let's get that first video. Put in fair use.
Sending gift cards in bulk can be a nightmare. But what if it could be tremendous?
The U.S. is 50 states strong today, but it began as 13 small colonies. It all started with Virginia, when wealthy London businessmen asked the British king to set up shop in what was known as the New World. 104 British colonists settled at Jamestown, forming the first permanent American colony. Next up, Massachusetts, founded after being established by the Pilgrims, who sailed the Mayflower to Plymouth. 6 years later, New York was pioneered by the Dutch, who called it New Amsterdam. Maryland, which became home to Puritans, Quakers, and Catholics, who didn't always get along, was established in 1634. Maryland was followed by Connecticut, when 100 Puritans left Massachusetts to start a new colony at Hartford. And Rhode Island, which was originally called Red Island by the Dutch. Delaware and New Hampshire, which at various points were part of Maryland and Massachusetts, came next. Virginian colonists established North Carolina 10 years before South Carolina was granted a charter, forming one Carolina colony until 1712. New Jersey was first settled in 1664, though the small future Garden State was actually in two parts for nearly 40 years. Pennsylvania was granted to William Penn in 1681, in payment for a debt the British king owed Penn's father. That leaves Georgia, which was established as a penal colony for English debtors, and a buffer zone between the British colonies and Florida, which was controlled by the Spanish. Spain held on to Florida until 1821, a full 45 years after the original 13 colonies became the United States of America.
All right, pause it there. So we see that it started in Virginia. There were some people, some rich people from London. They started to off on a venture to find the new world. They ended up in Virginia, Jamestown, Virginia, and they ended up having 13 colonies. Those 13 colonies made up the United States of America. So now, let's look at, so now that we see that they got those 13 colonies, now let's see what happened with slavery. So pull up, go back to the list, go to America's history of slavery before Jamestown. So go back.
19.
Go to 0, and we go play 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
The arrival of the
pause it. So now we got the 13 colonies. Are we still at it? Can they hear me online? Y'all can hear me online? We still at it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All praise. So now we got the 13 colonies. Guess what? When they came over here, they came over here with the slaves. Meaning they had slaves in what? In Great Britain already. They came over with some damn slaves. So now play this.
The first captives to the Jamestown colony, in 1619, is often seen as the beginning of slavery in America, but enslaved Africans arrived in North America as early as the 1500s. In late August 1619, the White Lion, an English privateer commanded by John Jope, sailed into Point Comfort and dropped anchor in the James River. Virginia colonist John Rolfe documented the arrival of the ship and 20 and odd Africans on board. His journal entry is immortalized in textbooks, with 1619 often used as a reference point for teaching the origins of slavery in America. But the history, it seems, is far more complicated than a single date. It is believed the first Africans brought to the colony of Virginia, 400 years ago this month, were Kimbundu-speaking peoples from the Kingdom of Ndongo, located in part of present-day Angola. Slave traders forced the captives to march several hundred miles to the coast to board the San Juan Bautista, one of at least 36 transatlantic Portuguese and Spanish slave ships. The ship embarked with about 350 Africans on board, but hunger and disease took a swift toll. En route, about 150 captives died. Then, when the San Juan Bautista approached what is now Veracruz, Mexico in the summer of 1619, it encountered two ships, the White Lion and another English privateer, the Treasurer. The crews stormed the vulnerable slave ship and seized 50 to 60 of the remaining Africans. After, the pair sailed for Virginia. As noted by Rolfe, when the White Lion arrived in what is now present-day Hampton, Virginia, the Africans were offloaded and bought for victuals. Governor Sir George Yeardley and head merchant Abraham Piercy acquired the majority of the captives, most of whom were kept in Jamestown, America's first.
It said they was kept in Jamestown, America's first. Go ahead, play the 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Permanent English settlement. The arrival of these 20 and odd Africans to England's mainland American colonies in 1619 is now a focal point in history curricula. The date and their story have become symbolic of slavery's roots, despite captive Africans likely being present in the Americas in the 1400s and as early as 1526 in the region that would become the United States. Some experts, including Michael Guasco, a professor at Davidson.
You can stop it there. So now we see that when they came over here with the slaves. They came over here with slaves. And he said that they came to Jamestown, but they was here before that in 1526. They was here in 1526. Now, go back to the videos. Play the third one. And go to.
Do you own your home in Missouri, but
go to 1 minute and 29 seconds.
And this
right there.
In the future United States, in what is now the state of South Carolina, a Spanish magistrate founded the colony of San Miguel de Guadalupe in 1526 with an unknown number of enslaved Africans. But the colony was a failure, though some historians suggest that the Africans fled to the Wale.
You see where, because remember, dude said they was here in 1526. You see where he said they was at? Did y'all catch it? Rewind it a little bit. They was in South Carolina. Play that part again.
Miguel de Guadalupe in 1526 with an unknown number of enslaved Africans. But the colony was a failure, though some historians suggest that the Africans fled to the Wale Indians to set up their own colony. Nearly a century later, 20 to 30 captured Africans, or 20 and odd Negroes, as they were referred to, arrived at Point Comfort, Virginia in 1619.
So now he said he got more deeper. He said, look, they was in South Carolina in 1526. And it had Spaniard names, meaning Spaniards had up over here first. And they was in South Carolina. Then he said they went to Point Comfort, Virginia, with 30 or 40 African slaves. That's when they first came in 1619 from the Brits. Go ahead.
The arrival of this group that has come to represent the origins of chattel slavery in the United States, because they were the first to arrive to an English colony, a colony that would, a century and a half later, become the United States.
You see that? So he said they was the first to arrive with the English colony. In 1526, they came with the Spaniards. But in 1619, they came with Britain. They came with the English, that which later became U.S. Go ahead.
These captives would become instrumental to the success of the Jamestown colony, which succeeded where previous colonies had failed. We might imagine the first group of African captives to be foreign to the New World, but they had already had significant contact with Europeans, particularly those from Spain and Portugal. They were part of a group historian Ira Berlin describes as Atlantic Creoles. They were versed in many languages, had some familiarity with Christianity, and sometimes even worked alongside white indentured servants. Europeans did attempt to utilize other sources of labor before turning to enslaved Africans. But the indentured servitude of European immigrants posed issues that prevented colonists from extracting long-term systemic labor from them. For one, European indentured servants could only legally be indentured for a contracted period of time, usually somewhere between 4 and 7 years. When their contracts expired, new indentured laborers had to be found and trained, which resulted in inconsistent levels of harsh punishment that Africans received. Historical evidence suggests that when mixed groups of Africans and European servants ran away, the Africans within the group would receive the harshest punishment. Settlers also attempted to enslave indigenous people.
So he was saying the Africans was working with indentured servants. I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but a lot of people say the Irish was slaves too. They wasn't slaves, they was indentured servants, meaning they got paid and they was only indentured servants for 4 to 7 years. So when y'all hear that, they wasn't, and he letting us know they wasn't getting treated nearly how the so-called African slaves was getting treated. They actually got released from slavery. Go back to 3 minutes because we missed the part.
Between 4 and 7 years. When their contracts expired, new indentured laborers had to be found and trained, which resulted in inconsistent levels of production.
Indentured servants was contractors. He said when their contract expired, they had to get new indentured servants. That's not how slavery went for our people. We was from birth to death. Go ahead.
Secondly, well, European indentured servants were white, and Europeans, regardless of their origin, still viewed other Europeans as fully human. Some Europeans were reticent to discipline other Europeans with the same harsh punishment that Africans received. Historical evidence suggests that when mixed groups of Africans and European servants ran away, the Africans within the group would receive the harshest punishment. Settlers also attempted to enslave indigenous people, but this didn't really satisfy their labor needs. And while Europeans did not immediately give up on indigenous labor, ongoing conflicts with Native Americans made imported Africans a much more desirable source of labor. Slavery, however, had not yet been defined and codified by law. But that wouldn't last. The colonists would soon discover that in order to effectively govern this emerging society, uniform policies would have to be established in order to clearly demarcate the social and political hierarchy. Before any legislation.
So now, guess what? They had to put laws in for slavery. For them to make it profitable, they had to put laws in for slavery. That's what happened. This isn't on so-called United States soil. Now, you can stop sharing that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. So now, whenever we get an opportunity to teach the curses, guess what? That's what we gonna do. Talking about slavery in the U.S., a perfect opportunity to teach the curses. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said, if we don't keep the commandments, we get curses. Now I want to talk about some people that are black. I don't want them to call them names, but they coons. Our black coons, as you will show them something about slavery, about how they was getting treated, picking cotton, Do you show them the curses in Deuteronomy 28? And they'll say stuff like, well, you ain't picked no cotton. You ain't come over here on slave ships. But they know our ancestors did. I'm going to show y'all how to respond to people like that. Thinking, oh, you can get a good job today and you can just know how to play the so-called white man game and you can get ahead. Look, the curses our ancestors, it's a proven fact that our ancestors fit the curses in Deuteronomy 28.
Yep.
Which means they what? They are the people that the Bible is talking about, right? If they are the people the Bible is talking about, and we come from them, what do that make us? We the people that the Bible was talking. We descend from them. Our people is so simple-minded. You don't fit the curses. You didn't go on slavery on slave ship. My ancestors did. My great-great-grandfather did. My great-great-grandmother did. My great-great-great-aunt did. We come from those same people. So if they fit the curses, guess what? And even though we still fit the curses because we are still oppressed today, believe it or not. You can't tell them that, but we still curse. But if you want to look at it from that point of, or that angle, guess what? Well, we descend from those people. So that makes us the people of God through lineage. It's not calculus. Jump to verse 45. Down coons, boy.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And upon thy seed, we are the seed, which the curses are still on. We still oppressed. Now, go to verse 16.
Deuteronomy 28 and 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Go to 29. So it said we was going to be cursed in the city, cursed in the field. Guess what? Back in the slavery days, we was cursed in the field. Guess what? Today, we cursed in the city. Because we're not on a plantation anymore. So it do fits us. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed.
And thou shalt what?
And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save
It
thee.
said we gonna be only oppressed. Only oppressed. Jump to 30.
Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Said we built the White House. We ain't lived in it yet as a president. Because Obama is not our people. Just to throw that out there. Obama is not our people. Go ahead.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Jump to 33.
Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
So we're gonna be only oppressed and crushed always. And guess what? This nation is this nation is on its last legs. Y'all seen the presidential debate? It was pure comedy. Pure comedy. A convicted felon and an old man up there.
This is right. It can't get no righter.
Hey, this kingdom is going down, man. They was up there joning on each other. Trump didn't pull Biden down to his level. What's the name? Told Trump. He said, "You're a felon." He said, "All you do is lie. You're a felon." He said, "Your son is a felon."
Stop playing with my name, nigga. When my name come up, respect it.
Your son is a felon. This kingdom is going down, man. They got so prideful that the Most High is putting the spirit on them. They turning on each other now. They turning on each other. But jump to that was a little off topic, but that was funny. Go to 41.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
You're not going to enjoy your children because they're going into captivity. And in that speech, Frederick Douglass talked about these things. He talked about how the life of the slaves. Go to 64.
Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Even wood and stone. Go ahead.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
There is no ease in these nations. No ease today. The rich is at an all-time high with greed. Inflation is terrible. It's horrible. This kingdom is going down. Go ahead.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
I like to use this scripture when people, and I used to have this mentality if, when y'all used to watch those slave movies, and y'all used to be like, I couldn't live back in them days. They would have killed me. No, you wouldn't.
Right.
The Most High said he gave them, read that again. This is why you wouldn't act like you think you gonna act in 2024 back in 1620. You ain't no. Because the Most High gonna give you this. Read it again.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall thy sole of thy foot have rest.
But what the Lord gonna do? Go ahead.
But the Lord shall give thee there.
So he gonna give you there. Where is there? Among these nations, what?
A trembling heart.
You gonna have a trembling heart. You gonna be scared. You ain't gonna fuck up to Massa. 18 nothing. 16 nothing. You ain't finna buck up. Talking about who you think you talking to, man. You be gonna get that back whoop one time and you gonna be put in your place. How about they would have killed you? They ain't gonna kill you. You they property. If they kill you, they lose money. You know what they gonna do? They gonna rape you and hit you with their whip. You gonna be in line from that.
This is right.
You gonna be in line. You ain't gonna be walking around telling Master you got me messed up. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. For the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
You're going to have that trembling heart. Go ahead.
And failing of eyes.
A failing of eyes and what else?
And sorrow of mind.
And sorrow of mind. That's what rape do to you. Give you that sorrow of mind. That they call it buck breaking. You ain't going to be that tough man walking around here with them pants hanging off your tail. That ain't going down on the plantation. Verse 66.
Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night.
You're going to be scared day and night. Why?
and shall have none assurance of thy life.
Ain't gonna be no insurance of your life. You don't know what master gonna do. Jump to verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So this is what we just the history, the known history of America. We just seen all that what they was talking about come to life on these scriptures. Come to life on these scriptures. Go to Psalms 44. He said we was gonna be sold for slave men and slave women. Psalms 44, verse 8.
Psalms chapter 44 and verse 8. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever.
Go ahead.
Selah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame.
Said the Most High put us to shame. He cast us off and put us to shame. Go ahead.
And goest not forth with our army.
He's not fighting for us anymore. Go ahead.
Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves.
Go ahead.
Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen.
He scattered us among the heathen, not to the corners of the earth. Go ahead.
Thou sellest thy people for naught.
He said he sold us for nothing. He sold us. He didn't. The Most High didn't sell us so he can make a profit. He sold us because we pissed him off. He said, "Thou sellest us for naught." Go ahead.
And does not increase thy wealth by their price.
Said he wasn't trying to get rich by selling us. He sold us because that's what he said was going to happen to us. Go to Judges chapter 2. Judges chapter 2, verse 14.
The book of Judges, chapter 2, and verse 14. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them unto the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. And he sold them unto the hands of their enemies.
He did what?
And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about.
Go ahead.
So that they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
Go ahead.
Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them.
So wherever they went, the hand of the Lord was against them. Go ahead.
For evil, as the Lord has said, and as the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed.
So he sold us. He's the one that sold us. He the one that put us in that predicament. Why? Deuteronomy 28:15. We broke the covenant. He told us it was going to happen. We didn't believe him. Go to one more, Baruch 4 and 6.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath.
So we were sold because we pissed God off. That's why. It's not a coincidence. Our history lined up perfectly with the Bible. For anybody watching online, our history lined up perfectly with the Bible, more than the Jewish people. They was never sold. Never sold. We just read 4 precepts talking about God's people being sold as slave men and slave women. That's not in their history. That's why they don't follow the Bible. They follow the Talmud. Because the Bible is talking about us. Go to Daniel 9. Daniel 9. It's not a coincidence that the Bible fits our history so well. Watch this, verse 11.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
He said the oath that was written in the law of Moses, meaning the curses that we just read in Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. Go ahead.
And he had confirmed his word, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
So the reason why that history is important is because this evil that the Israelites is going to go through, no, it's not going to be close to no other people, because the curses is identifier. So it had to fit one people to say, you know what, we are those people. Because it said, read that last part again in verse 12, bringing us upon us a great evil.
By bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
It say a great evil is not, the stuff that's going to happen to you is not going to happen to any other nationality. That's why it's going to be undeniable. And the heathens, they still deny it. Our own people, they still deny it. They said, we Gentiles, we heathens. We grafted in, though. All right, let's go to the next video. So now we got the history of the 13 colonies. People came over from British, started taking over that coast, that east coast of the United States. They started taking those over, established the 13 colonies. When they came over here, they brought over slaves. That was the only reason that helped them grow economically. The only reason they was able to break off of the English or the British was because the slaves in those 13 cities built up a well-oiled machine of economic wealth. The Frederick Douglass, in his speech, he said that they was making millions off the slaves. Millions in the 1800s. $1 million today is a lot of money. Think about $1 million in the 1800s, 1600s. They was getting paid millions. They said, we don't need you no more, Great Britain. We making millions over here. And we still got a lot of land to go conquer. And they was making millions just in those 13 cities. Crazy. So let's get this history of Independence Day. Go back to the videos, that one right there, yeah.
When I was starting out in...
We gonna play from the beginning to 3 minutes and 7 seconds.
The 4th of July. It's pretty huge in the United States. But do you know why? It's more famously known as Independence Day and is a massive annual celebration and national holiday across all 50 states. On this date in 1776, Congress officially announced its independence from Great Britain and their ruler, King George III. The USA had been under British rule since the 1600s, when the British founded 13 colonies to make up the country: Virginia, New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. As these colonies grew, so too did unrest. Inhabitants were not happy at the taxes they were made to pay by the Brits, or the superior treatment they were expected to show to these impostors. So they rebelled. They decided that they needed to declare their independence in writing. Led by Thomas Jefferson, who would later go on to become the third U.S. president, the Declaration was written, presented, and finally accepted, actually on 2nd July 1776, but announced to the world 2 days later on the 4th of July. This most famous piece of literature is now safeguarded at the National Archives in Washington, D.C. Its most famous line reads, quote, "All men are created equally," and, quote, "are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights that include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Americans are extremely proud of this document and can often be heard quoting it during their annual July 4th celebrations. The whole country comes together for huge displays.
See how they got black hands holding the flag? They think they slick. We was slaves. All men created equally, and we was damn slaves. Then in this video, they got black hands, black arms holding the flag. He's all crazy, boy. Go ahead.
Of patriotic celebrations on this day. Families and friends generally honor it with outdoor gatherings, as the weather across the country is usually good around this time. Picnics, barbecues, and house parties. Parades are held in most cities where citizens dress in the red, white, and blues of the American flag. We can hear the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, being proudly sung all over the country, and fireworks always finish off the day's festivities. New York City is reported to hold the biggest fireworks display each year, sponsored by the famous department store Macy's. Chips, dips, burgers, hot dogs, and fries are some of the most popular foods eaten.
All right, we know about all that. So now we see that, you can stop sharing it. We see that Great Britain, the United States separated themselves from Great Britain, meaning they got their own independence. They was able to get away from their government and create their own government and their own ways and own laws, own taxes. They was able to do their own thing, became independent from the Brit. In July 2nd, 1776, they voted. They made an announcement to the people July 4th, 1776. And now it's they call it America's birthday. It's America's birthday. So now we got that history of the 13 colonies, how they even had slaves at this time. So during 1776, remember, they had slavery. They had the slaves was here too. So now, let's get the book. Open up the book cover so people can see what the book look like. All right, share that out. All right, so this is the book. This is the speech. It's not a book, but this is just one. Benedictions. What to the slave is the 4th of July. This is the speech of Frederick Douglass, and it's crazy because right after he gave the speech, he sold 700 copies of the speech. Right after it. All right, go to page. Let me know if you can see that. We go read just the highlighted part. Go to page 5. So we go read page 5 of the speech. Zoom in. You can see that out. You can zoom in just the highlight part.
Right,
yeah.
There you go. Should I seem at ease, my appearance would not much misrepresent me. The little experience I have had in addressing public meetings in country schoolhouses avails me nothing on the present occasion.
Go down to the next highlighted part. Can you see that?
Yeah. This, for the purpose of this celebration, is the 4th of July. It is the birthday of your national independence and of your political freedom. This, to you, is what the Passover was to the emancipated people of God.
So now look at the comparison that this is him starting the speech off. He said, y'all 4th of July is the same thing to what the people of God, their Passover is. That's important, meaning the people of God should be doing what? Passover. Not the 4th of July. Let's get Exodus 12 and 14 real quick. You can keep that shirt out. We just gonna get Exodus. Well, actually, go to page 6. Pull that up while we reading this. Exodus 12 and 14.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generation.
Talking about the Passover. Go ahead.
Ye shall keep it at a feast by an ordinance forever.
So it say this day is your memorial of your independence from the Egyptians. So Frederick Douglass is starting. And then how you see how there's a separation. He said, this is your 4th of July. This is your birthday. He let us know this ain't for us. You can't tell our people this today. You can't tell this. They gonna have on their red, white, and blues faithfully.
The red, white, and blue weave too.
Let's get page 6. Just the highlight part.
Fellow citizens, I shall not presume to dwell at length on the associations that cluster about this day. The simple story of it is that 76 years ago, the people of this country were British subjects.
He said, y'all was British. Y'all was British. Y'all wasn't Americans. Y'all was British. Go ahead. Go to the next highlighted.
You were under the British crown. Your fathers esteemed the English government as the home government, and England as the fatherland.
Go to the next one. You can start at the beginning of that last paragraph.
But your fathers who had not adopted the fashionable idea of this day of the infidelity of government. No, did I read it? Infallibility. Infallibility.
Pass on the book so he can see it. Yeah, that'll be better.
There we go. But your fathers who had not adopted the fashionable idea of this day of the infallibility of government and the absolute character of its acts presume to differ from the home government in respect to the wisdom and the justice of some of those burdens and restraints. They went so far in their excitement as to pronounce the measures of government unjust, unreasonable, and oppressive.
You see that? He said he's giving a history. He's saying y'all thought the British government was unjust and oppressive. This is how they felt. Like they felt like they was getting oppressed by the British. And we got to do something about this. We got to fight. I go to the next page. What was that, page 6 or page 7?
That was page 6.
All right, let's get page 7.
But with that blindness, which seems to be the unvarying characteristics of tyrants, since Pharaoh and his hosts were drowned in the Red Sea.
You see how he's comparing their Independence Day to the Exodus. Go ahead.
The British government persisted in the exactions complained of.
So the British didn't want to let them go. He like, man, y'all get making bukus of money over there. We get to tax y'all, so we making a lot of money. Go ahead.
Exactions complained of. The madness of this course, we believe, is admitted now, even by England, but we fear the lesson is wholly lost on our present ruler. Oppression makes a wise man mad.
He quoting the Bible throughout his whole speech.
Yep.
And he's right now, he's talking on their side. He's saying, I see how y'all felt about the British oppressing y'all. Go ahead.
Your fathers were wise men, and if they did not go mad, they became restive under this treatment. They felt themselves the victim of grievous wrongs, wholly incurable in their colonial capacity. With brave men, there is always a remedy for oppression. Just here, the idea of a total separation of the colonies from.
All right, let's go to what page was that? Let's go to page 8.
Citizens, your fathers made good.
Hold on, now. Let them share it out.
My bad.
Are you good?
Citizens, your fathers made good that resolution. They succeeded, and today you reap the fruits of their success.
So he like, hey, y'all fathers did it. Yeah, hey, got y'all free from the Brits. Go ahead.
The freedom gained is yours, and you, therefore, may properly celebrate this anniversary.
You see that? You see how he has a separation? Your fathers, you, yours. Go ahead.
The 4th of July is the first great fact in your nation's history. The very ring, bolt in the chain of your yet undeveloped destiny.
Go ahead.
Pride and patriotism, not less than gratitude, prompt you to celebrate and to hold it in perpetual remembrance.
Go to the next one. Page. Let's go. What's that, page 8?
Yeah, that's not.
Go to page 11.
Y'all ready?
Share it out. All right.
There are illustrations of it near and remote, ancient and modern. It was fashionable hundreds of years ago for the children of Jacob.
For now, y'all see who he talking about? He talking about Israel. He said the children of Jacob, he's comparing 4th of July to Passover. Go ahead.
For the children of Jacob to boast. We have Abraham to our fathers when they had long lost Abraham's faith and spirit. That people.
He said the children of Israel was boasting about being children of Abraham, but guess what? They didn't have Abraham's spirit. Go ahead.
That people contented themselves under the shadow of Abraham's great name, while they repudiated. Hold on,
repudiated.
There you go. Repudiated the deeds of which made his name great. Need I remind you that a similar thing is being done all over this country today.
He's saying, look, y'all don't have that spirit. Y'all fathers don't even have that spirit. Well, page 11. Yeah. I go to page 12. Now, mind you, this is in 1852. A black man giving a speech for the 4th of July. All right, page 12.
Fellow citizens. Good. Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today?
He said, let me ask, why did the hell y'all call me to speak? Go ahead.
What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence?
You see that? He said, what the hell do I and the people I represent have to do with your national independence? He know what's going on. He know the difference between the heathen and his people. Go ahead.
Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence?
He said all that freedom and all that stuff y'all talking about in that Declaration of Independence don't got nothing to do with the people I represent. Go ahead.
Extended to us?
He said, is it extended to us? All the stuff y'all talk about in that Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, is it extended to us? Go ahead.
And am I, therefore, called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar?
Let's go to the next one.
Who? Yeah, I got it. Right there. Okay. Whoso odorate and dead to the claims of gratitude that would not thankfully acknowledge such priceless benefits. Whoso stole it and selfish that would not give his voice to wail the hallelujahs of a nation's jubilee.
Go ahead.
When the chains of servitude have been torn from his limbs, I am not that man.
He said, hey, when a man get his freedom, he gonna be yelling, hallelujah. Hallelujah. He said, but guess what? I am not that man. I am not that man. Go ahead.
But such is not the state of the case. I say it with a sad sense of the disparity between us. I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary.
He know the difference. He said, I am not included in this anniversary. This is the mindset our people need to have today. This is the mindset. We supposed to know that this don't have nothing to do with it. This 4th of July, y'all out here barbecuing, buying $1,500 in fireworks. Guess what? This don't got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. And this man, Frederick Douglass, he knew that. He's in the thick of it. And they knew this ain't got nothing to do with us. Go ahead.
Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessing in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me.
You see that? It said this independence that y'all so proud of is shared by you and your fathers. It don't got nothing to do with me. I don't even know why y'all asked me to speak. Go ahead.
The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me.
Damn. He cut them up at their own celebration in 1852. Guess what's gonna happen if they get Jesse Jackson to speak on the 4th of July?
Emotional damage.
He gonna be up there cooning. Who is our leaders today? Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton,
David Banner.
David Banner. Fat Mike, what's his name? Big Mike, Rap Mike, the dude that's thinking he something
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike, T.I. These are leaders today. They gonna be up there glorifying Independence Day. Cool. We lost this spirit. This is Frederick Douglass in 1852. Where is that spirit at for our people? Now we cool. We think we with them. We think we are the Americans. We think, what it say, liberty for all. We think that wasn't talking about us. And Frederick Douglass know that this is the spirit we supposed to be in today. He had that spirit back then. It's the same thing today. Let's go to page 14. Let's go to page 14.
You got it. All right. On what branch of the subject do the people of this country need light? Must I undertake to prove that the slave is a man?
So now he's about to let you know, hey, look, the slave, we are men and women. We are a man. Because remember, the Declaration of Independence said all men are created equal. So now he has to, but watch what he say. Go ahead.
That point is concealed already. Nobody doubts it. They acknowledge it when they punish disobedience on the part of the slave. There are 72 crimes in the state of Virginia, which, if committed by a black man, no matter how ignorant he be, subject him to punishment of death.
He said for the slave, it's 72 crimes that leads to the punishment is death. If you're a slave. These are the laws. He said it's 72 crimes where the punishment is death if you're a slave. Go ahead.
While only 2 of the same crimes will subject a white man to the like punishment.
So it said out of those 70 crimes, if you so-called American or Edomite, so-called white man, only 2 of the crimes, if they commit the same 72 crimes, they would get death only for 2 of them. Whoa, hell no. Go ahead.
What is this but the acknowledgement that the slave is a moral, intellectual, and responsible being?
Now he cut him. Now he cut, because think about it. If you have a law for a man that's punishable by death, you're telling that man you have a moral compass. That's what Frederick Douglass is telling them. He said, y'all acknowledge that we are men because of the laws and the punishments that y'all give us. So y'all telling us we have a moral, read that part again.
What is this but the acknowledgement?
It said y'all acknowledge what?
That the slave is a moral, intellectual, and responsible being.
You see that? Y'all acknowledge that we're moral, intellectual, and responsible because y'all got 72 crimes that can lead us to death. So y'all letting us know that we can follow rules, we can follow morals. That makes us, so y'all acknowledge that we are men. Go ahead.
For the present, it is enough to affirm the equal manhood of the Negro race.
You see that? It said that's an equal manhood. That's even more manhood. You mean tell me 72 crimes we get death, and y'all only get death for 2 of the same 72 crimes? That makes our manhood even stronger because we got to have more what? Discipline. we got to have more discipline to not do those crimes. Because if we do those crimes, we get put to death. So that means we got more discipline than y'all. Go ahead.
Is it not astonishing that while we are plowing, planting, and reaping, using all kinds of mechanical tools, erecting houses, constructing bridges, building ships, working in metals of brass, iron, copper, silver, and gold, that while we are reading, writing, and ciphering, acting as clerks, merchants, and secretaries, having among us lawyers, doctors, ministers, poets, authors, editors, orators, and teachers, that while we are engaged in all manner of enterprise common to other men, digging gold in California, capturing the whale in the Pacific, feeding sheep and cattle on the hillside.
We was doing everything they was doing. Go ahead.
Living, moving, acting, thinking, planning, living in families as husbands, wives, and children, and above all, confessing and worshiping the Christian's God, and looking hopefully for life and a morality beyond the grave. We are called upon to prove that we are men.
It said, you see that? It said we are more proven to be men. We should be, when it say all men created equal, that should be us. Go ahead.
Would you have me argue that man is entitled to liberty, that he is the rightful owner of his own body? You have already declared it.
He said, you have already declared it means in the Declaration of Independence. He said, I don't have to argue that for men because y'all already acknowledged that the slave is a man. But he said, you already declared liberty for men in the Declaration of Independence. So he basically letting them know, guess what? Y'all are hypocrites by your own mouth. Go to Job 15:5. Your own mouth has declared you hypocrites based off what you wrote in the Declaration of Independence. Let's get Job 15:5.
Job chapter 15 and verse 5. For thy mouth uttered thine iniquity.
It say your mouth speaking of your iniquity. Your mouth utter your iniquity. Go ahead.
And thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemned thee.
Your own mouth is condemning you. Your own Constitution, Declaration of Independence, condemn you. Go ahead.
And not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee.
You see that? Your own lips testify against you. The stuff, because the Declaration of Independence was wrote by Thomas Jefferson and the 13 men. It was they wrote it. So now let's go to the next page. What's the next page over? 15. Let's get 15.
You ready? All right. What? Am I to argue that it is wrong to make men brutes, to rob them of their liberty, to work them without wages, to keep them ignorant of their relations to their fellow men, to beat them with sticks, to flay their flesh with the lash, to load their limbs with irons, to hunt them with dogs, to sell them at auction?
So now we're have a person that was living back then that's telling us what they was doing to us that what? Fit the curses. He was there. And he's giving his own account that, look, what y'all doing, it fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28. He said, sell them at auction, beating them, whooping them. Remember, the curse say your life is gonna hang. You no ease. You don't know if you gonna be killed day or night. Go ahead.
To sunder their families.
To split up their families. Remember, you will not enjoy your children, for they shall go into captivity. Go ahead.
To knock out their teeth, to burn their flesh, to serve them to starve them into obedience and submission to their masters. Must I argue that a system thus marked with blood?
He said, y'all system is marked with blood. This city was built on blood. Go ahead.
And stained with pollution is wrong? No, I will not.
He said, do I gotta argue that what y'all doing to us is wrong? He like, look, I'm not finna argue. If you don't know, you never go know. Go ahead.
I have better employment for my time.
He said, I got better things I could be doing. It's like talking to a brick wall. If I gotta tell y'all wicked tell what y'all doing wrong to us, he said, I got better things to do with my time because y'all don't get it. How you gonna say you oppressed by the British, but you oppressing another people? That's a hypocrite. Go ahead.
And strength. Then such arguments would imply.
So now he said, y'all built this with blood. Go to Nahum chapter 3. Y'all built this with blood. Nahum chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 1. It's Nahum. The book of Nahum. Chapter 3, said verse 1.
Yeah.
And verse 1. Woe to the bloody city.
It say, woe to the bloody city. This is the same thing that Frederick Douglass was telling them. Go ahead.
It is all full of lies.
It's what?
It is all full of lies.
It's full of lies. Go ahead.
And robbery. The prey departed not.
Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
You see that? It's a destruction to him that build a town by blood. This is exactly this is how they built up America. They was making millions off the slaves. Go ahead. It was free labor. Imagine going, you go buy some land. Let's say you don't even buy the land. You just find some land and get it for free. You didn't spend no money to get the land, and then you get people to build buildings and hospital, all types of stuff on the land for free. You basically built the whole town for free. All you had to do was plan it. But you had to what? Shed blood to do that. Read that again.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity.
You see that? And establish a city with sin. Let's go back to it. Where we at in the yellow?
Yeah.
Of page 15.
Yeah. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake, the feeling of roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced.
He said, look, this city need to be basically destroyed for the high crimes against God. So now we finna answer the question and say, what's the title of the class? What to the slave is the 4th of July? Now he about to answer the question of his title. Read the pink.
What to the American slave is your 4th of July?
So that's the question. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? Go ahead.
I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim.
You see that? It say the 4th of July reminds him that he's a victim. That's what the 4th of July is to us. Because we are descendants of the slaves. This is a reminder that we are victims. What the coon say? Y'all got that victim mentality. No, it's true. Would you say Frederick Douglass had a victim? Frederick Douglass was balling in these days. He's speaking at the 4th of July celebration. Would you say he got a victim mentality? He was a slave and was free at this time, making money, helping establish what they call them black college HBCU,
Stop playing with my name.
HBCUs. He helped establish those. Would you call him victim-minded because he acknowledges the truth? That's all you doing is acknowledging the truth. Read that part again.
What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross.
It reveals to him more than all the other days of the year that what?
The gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim.
It say that he is the constant victim of. Go ahead.
To him, your celebration is a sham.
Is a what?
Is a sham.
It's a sham. That's the mentality we're supposed to be in 2024. The 4th of July celebration is a sham. How you y'all say Independence Day with slaves? How you gonna say the British is oppressing us with slaves? The 4th of July to the American slave is a sham. Go ahead.
Your boasted liberty and unholy license. Your national greatness.
What page is that you on now?
Oh, 16, my bad.
16. All right, let's get that. Hey, he letting them have it. He letting them have it in this speech. The speech is full of Edomites. I mean, the audience is full of Edomites. He letting them have it. Go ahead.
Your national greatness, wailing vanity, your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence, your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery.
Hey, zoom in on that.
Hollow mockery, your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, all with all your religious parade.
He said, all your religion. Now he's about to get on the religious side. Go ahead.
All your religious parade and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages.
He said, y'all a nation of savages. He said, all these parades and all this happiness and American flags and fireworks, it say to cover up that y'all are savages for real. Y'all are brute beasts. Go ahead.
There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour.
Ooh. He cutting them up. This is in 1852. He cutting them up. He said, ain't nobody worse than y'all at this very hour. Y'all some savages and got the nerve to celebrate like it's all good. This the mentality. Hey, this the mentality our people need to be in till this day. That's a cold spirit right there. Let's the yellow part.
Take the American slave trade, which we are told by the papers is especially prosperous just now.
It said it is prosperous. The American slave trade is prosperous. Watch what he say. Go ahead.
Ex-Senator Benton tells us that the price of men was never higher than now.
Go ahead.
He mentions the fact to show that slavery is in no danger.
He says it says slavery is so prosperous, so much money. This gonna be going on for a long time. Go ahead.
It is carried on in all the large towns and cities.
They say all the towns is going on. Go ahead.
In one half of this confederacy. And millions are pocketed.
How much?
And millions are pocketed.
So this is what the senator is told them. He's telling them what the senator reported. The senator reported that millions are pocketed off of the slave trade. This is in the 1800s. Millions? They was becoming millionaires off us. Go ahead.
And millions are pocketed every year by dealers in this horrid traffic in several states. This trade is a chief source of wealth.
It said this is the chief source, means this is the main source of our wealth. This is how the United States was established off the slave trade. It was the main source of their wealth. Go to the next, highlight it. Hey, we getting a deep dive into this speech. Imagine, he just, this is not no short speech. He letting them have it. What's that? What page is that?
17.
Yeah, let's get that.
Cast one glance, if you please, upon that young mother whose shoulders are bare to the scorching sun, her briny tears falling on the brow of the babes in her arms. See too that girl of 13 weeping, yes, weeping, as she thinks of the mother from whom she has been torn.
Remember, it said the curses, your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and they shall go into captivity. He's talking about a 13-year-old girl right here. How she's crying because she's was torn from her mother. Go to the next highlighted part.
Follow the drove to New Orleans.
Now he's just gonna cut them all up. Go ahead.
Attend the auction. See men.
He said, go to New Orleans. Attend the slave auctions. Go ahead.
See men examined like horses.
See how they look at us like horses. Go ahead.
See the forms of women rudely and brutally exposed to the shocking gaze of American slave buyers.
Our women up here naked. Go ahead.
See this drove sold and separated forever, and never forget the deep, sad sobs that arose from that scattered multitude.
It said, remember, he said, let's read it. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 32. He said how they were separated. These families are being separated, and you can hear their cries of how they're losing their families, the sons, the daughters, the mothers, the fathers. And think about when they get separated, how the family is crying. He said, go witness this. Read that. Deuteronomy 28:32.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Go ahead.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
That's what he's describing. Somebody that's there at the auction blocks. He said, this is what you see. He said, y'all go to New Orleans and look at it. Go ahead. Read that again, 32.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
And there's no might in your hand to get up. He's describing the curses. Clearly, this is somebody that's there. Was that it on that page 17?
No.
All right, go ahead.
Tell me, citizens, where under the sun you can witness a spectacle more fiendish and shocking.
It said there is nowhere else you can witness something like this. Where did he say? In New Orleans. New Orleans. Go to 18. We got a couple more pages. Page 18.
Fellow citizens, this murderous traffic is today in active operation in this boasted republic.
He said this going on today. Go ahead.
In the solitude of my spirit, I see clouds of dust raised on the highways of the South. I see the bleeding footsteps. I hear the doleful wail of fettered humanity on the way to the slave market, where the victims are to be sold like horses, sheep, and swine, knocked off to the highest bidder.
Knocked off to the highest bidders. That's the Deuteronomy 28:68. And thou shalt be sold as bondmen and bond women. Keep going. Right there, say, there I see.
There I see the tenderest ties ruthlessly broken to gratify the lust, caprice, and rapacity of the buyers and sellers of men. My soul sickens at the sight.
So my soul is sickened at this sight. He was at, imagine, because he at this time he's free. So he's witnessing this stuff. Now it's on the go to what's the next page? 19?
Yeah.
It's another. Yeah.
All right. New York has become as Virginia, and the power to hold, hunt, and sell men, women, and children as slaves remains no longer a mere state of institution, but is now an institution of the whole United States.
It's the institute. Now the whole United States is getting into it. The whole 13 colonies. Go ahead.
The power is coextensive with the Star-Spangled Banner and American Christianity.
Now he's about to get on Christianity. Now he's about to get on Christianity. Go ahead.
Where these go, may also go the merciless slave hunter. Where these are, men are not sacred.
He said these slave hunters was Christians. These slave, he on their tail. Scroll down.
For black men, there are neither law, justice, humanity, not religion. The fugitive slave law makes mercy to them a crime, and bribes the judge who tries them. An American judge gets $10 for every victim he co-signs to slavery.
He said he gets $10 to everyone he puts in slavery. The judge. Go ahead.
And 5 when he fails to do so.
And he only get half the money if he don't put them in slavery. So everybody is making money. Is this, what page is this?
20.
All right, that's where we at, 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that. Because he about to get on Christianity. We got a couple more pages left.
Ready?
Yeah. That's sharing out.
I take this law to be one of the grossest infringements of Christian liberty.
It's like now he getting on Christianity. Go ahead.
And if the churches and ministries of our country were not stupidly blind or most wickedly indifferent, they too would so regard it.
So you see that it said the churches and the ministers wasn't speaking out on slavery. So now he's holding them accountable. He's not just getting on America. Now he's getting on the pastors, the ministers, the churches. Scroll down. There's something at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that.
But the church of this country is not only indifferent to the wrongs of the slave, it actually takes sides with the oppressor.
They say the church was on the same side as slavery, was on the same side as the oppressors. The Christianity is a slave religion. Because that's what he's talking about, Christianity. He's not talking about the Bible. He's talking about Christianity. Go ahead.
Oh, we on page 21 now. It has made itself a bulwark of American slavery and the shield of American slave hunters.
It's talking about the church. Go ahead.
Many of its most eloquent divines who stand as the very light of the church have shamelessly given the sanction of religion and the Bible to the whole slave system.
Says shamelessly they gave it over to the whole slave system. Because then they start teaching out the Bible, slaves obey your masters. So they start using the Bible as a form to control the slaves. Now he's holding them accountable. Go ahead.
They have taught that man may properly be a slave, that the relation of master and slave is ordained of God.
Damn. He on them. I got one more page, no, two more, page 24.
You on 22?
Oh yeah, 22. I thought that was 22. Ah, yeah. He on the church tail.
Y'all ready? The American church is guilty.
The what?
The American church is guilty.
Guilty. The American church is guilty. Go ahead.
When viewed in connection with what it is doing to uphold slavery.
Damn. Go ahead.
But it is superlatively guilty when viewed in connection with its ability to abolish slavery.
So it's guilty because y'all not even going to try to abolish slavery. They with it. Now let's get 24. So he on the founding fathers' tail, he's on the senators' tail, and he's on church tail. You sharing it out?
Fellow citizens, I will not enlarge further on your national inconsistency.
He said, look, I'm done. I ain't finna go no further. Go ahead.
The existence of slavery in this country brands your republicanism as a sham.
As a sham. He said, your country is a sham. Go ahead.
Your humanity as a base pretense.
He said, your humanity is base. Go ahead.
And your Christianity as a lie.
And your what?
And your Christianity as a lie.
Damn, he on them.
Stop playing with my name.
He on them. He said, yeah, your country is a sham. Your humanity is base. And your Christianity is a lie.
This is right. It can't get no righter.
This is in 1852. This is the. Now tell me this. Tell me he don't sound like an Israelite. He quoted the Bible.
Yep.
And he could. And he. Get Jeremiah. I ain't read the scripture so long. I think it's 28 and 8. Let me look at it. Let me see. Yeah, Jeremiah 28 and 8. This is what he was doing.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
He said they prophesied against many countries. Go ahead.
And against great kingdoms.
Against great kingdoms. Go ahead.
Of war and of evil and of pestilence.
That's what he was doing. He was rebuking America, Christianity. He was rebuking the hell out of them at their celebration. Let's get that page 24 real quick. No, that was 24. Go to page 13 real quick. Go to page 13 real quick. So that's the speech. That was a powerful speech. The brother, he sounded like an Israelite. He sounded like an Israelite, quoting the Bible and rebuking them on they lies. So let's get page what I say 13?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, let's get that. Right here, he's quoting Psalms 137. Read that real quick.
By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carry us away captive required of us a song.
He uses that to say, look, y'all want us to sing and dance and coon for y'all. Guess what? This is how the 2024 black man is. Sing a song, require us a song. He's rebuking, he's using the scripture in his speech. Go ahead.
And they who wasted us required of us mirth.
He said, y'all wasted of us, but y'all want us to be happy. Go ahead.
Sing us a song. I'm sorry, and sing us one of the songs of Zion. How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
Oh, pray. He quoting us. That's Psalms 137, 1-6. He quoting there. Now go down.
Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions whose chains, heavy and grievous, yesterday.
Go down to where it says, my subject. You see where I say my subject?
I got it.
Right there.
My subject, then, fellow citizens, is American slavery. I shall see this day and its popular characteristics from the slave's point of view.
He said, I see this day from the slave's point of view. Go ahead.
Standing there, identified with the American bondman, making his wrongs mine. I do not hesitate to declare with all my soul that the character and conduct of this nation never looked blacker to me than on this 4th of July.
He said the 4th of July reminds me of how wicked y'all is. That's all it do. Go ahead.
Whether we turn to the declarations of the past or to the professions of the present, the conduct of the nation seems equally hideous and revolting. America is the false to the past.
It said your past is false. Go ahead.
False to the present.
Your present is false. Go ahead.
And solemnly binds herself to be false to the future.
Your future was gonna be false. He already knew that this city gonna stay wicked. This nation is gonna stay wicked to yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Y'all gonna stay oppressing our people. Go ahead.
I will, in the name of humanity, which is outraged, in the name of liberty, which is fettered, in the name of the Constitution and the Bible, which are disregarded and trampled upon.
He said, y'all Constitution, meaning the Constitution of the United States, and the Bible is trampled upon. Y'all, what y'all do is false. So let's end it there. You can stop it there. Now, go to John 8:32. Now, this is our people. When you know this history, when you understand that the things that they do in America is not for us, you have to start looking for truth. Give me John 8:32.
John chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him.
That's it. Go to 1 Esdras 3. Let me see. How long we been going? What that say? 151. All right. We gonna skip this part. We gonna a little long. Go to Exodus 23:7. I was gonna get a quick story, but we already be going too long. Exodus 23:7.
Exodus chapter 23 and verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter.
It say, keep yourself far from false matter. 4th of July is false. It's false. They didn't give a damn about nobody but themselves when they talking about they separated from the oppression of the Brits. How you gonna talk about the oppression of the Brits and you got slaves? That's false. We shouldn't be even thinking about no 4th of July. It ain't for us. Go ahead.
Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
Go to what happened was the slaves fully joined to the masters. That saying Malcolm X said, he said the house Negro, you know the house Negro was gone because he thought him and the master was the same person. Said, what's wrong, boss? We sick? That's what happened to that. Our people celebrating 4th of July, they house Negroes. That's what's going on. They house Negroes. They think they the same as the master. They got their patriotism going. When, guess what? That Declaration of Independence was not talking about you. Get 1 Maccabees 1:15.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen.
That's what happened. They joined themselves to the heathen. We got to have that Frederick Douglass spirit. He sounded like an Israelite. Yeah, we If he would have had somebody standing up there with him, but that's right. Bring it out. He sounded like an Israelite up there in front of a crowd full of Edomite in 1852 using the Bible. Go to Psalms 106 and verse 35.
Psalms 106 and verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen.
We were mixed among the heathen, and what happened?
And learned their works.
And we learned their works. We do 4th of July bigger than them now. It's crazy. Go to Isaiah 28 and 15.
Isaiah 28 and verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge.
We do what?
We have made lies our refuge.
We made lies our refuge. Our people who celebrate, the house Negroes, they don't hold America accountable for their lies. 4th of July is a sham. It's a sham. Go to Jeremiah 13 and 25. That's when you need God. That people like that, that's how you know they don't have God. Because God is about truth. Jeremiah 13 and 25.
Jeremiah 13 and verse 25. This is thy lot, the portion of thy measures from me, saith the Lord, because thou hast forgotten me.
It's that we forgot God
and trusted in falsehood.
And we trust in falsehoods. What is lies of falsehood, man? We shouldn't be wasting our money on that. We should be, it said the 4th of July is to Yah what the Passover is to the people of God. If we are the people of God, what they always say, I'm a child of God, then you should be doing Passover. Not no damn 4th of July. Get Psalm 62. Just a couple more, then we go end it. Psalm 62 and verse 10.
Psalms chapter 62 and verse 10.
Watch what he tells us don't trust in.
Trust not in oppression.
Do what?
Trust not in oppression.
He said don't trust in oppression. If you agree with 4th of July, you trust in oppression. Go ahead.
And become not vain in robbery.
And don't become vain. Go to Isaiah 30. Because our forefathers did this as well. Isaiah 30 and verse 1.
Isaiah 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt.
He said they do what?
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Said they walk to go down in Egypt where they was slaves at. Go ahead.
And have not asked at my mouth.
Don't even ask of God. Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Said they don't ask God to give them strength to handle Pharaoh. Go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
They trusted in Egypt. Our people trusted in Egypt. Go ahead.
Therefore, shall the strength of Pharaoh.
So therefore, the strength of Pharaoh go what?
Be your shame.
That's gonna be your shame. You trusting in Pharaoh, you trusting in Egypt. Guess what? That's gonna be your shame. Go ahead.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt is gonna be your confusion. You're gonna be confused. Go to verse 7.
Verse 7 of of Isaiah 30. For the Egyptians shall help in vain.
Don't that sound like America? They go help in vain. give you food stamps, welfare programs. They ain't gonna do nothing to get you out of oppression.
Nope.
So they gonna help you, but it's gonna be vain help.
Yep.
And to no purpose.
And it's gonna be to no purpose. The Egyptians gonna give you that vain help. Go ahead.
Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still.
Jump to 12.
Verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression.
He said, you despise the word. That's the people who celebrate 4th of July. You despise the word of God and trust in oppression. Go ahead.
And perverseness, and stay thereon.
And you stay on that same path. It's the exact same thing that was going on. Think about it. Think of the so-called Jewish people. They don't do none of that. They don't do none of their days. The Americanized ones do, but they get disowned by the Jewish people. They do their own days. So going on back then, it's the same thing going on today. Go to chapter 31, verse 1.
Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
It say, woe to them that go to Egypt. It's the same thing. Woe to them that think you're going to get help in America. Go ahead.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
It said you look everywhere else but to the Most High. Go ahead.
Neither seek the Lord.
Jump to 3.
Verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men.
Say the Egyptians are mortal men. You going to them for help. You supposed to be going to the Most High. That when people think you can vote your way out of oppression, you can go to the same people that's oppressing you for help. That means you trust in oppression. We don't give a damn about who gonna get into office, Trump but we don't give a damn either. Both of them go just bring more oppression. We don't give a damn. We just go either one go bring more oppression. Go ahead.
Now the Egyptians are men and not God.
And not God. Why are you looking to the Egyptians for help? They're not God. Go ahead.
And their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together.
They all shall fail together because you're looking to the Egyptians and not God. Let's get one more. Go to Isaiah 61:1. This is our help.
Isaiah 61 and verse 1.
This was God's solution to all our problems. Go ahead.
The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
This is Christ. That's our answer. We already know the answer. When you look to God, God told us that Christ is my son is the answer. Jeremiah 29:12. Then we go end it there. Jeremiah 29:12. People celebrate 4th of July. They just trust in oppression. They think they not being oppressed. 29:12.
Jeremiah 29 and verse 12. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you.
Go ahead.
And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart.
Go ahead.
And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity.
He said, and I will turn away your captivity. Go ahead.
And I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, said the Lord. And I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to go to be carried away captive.
So that's we know that's is our strength. The Most High is our strength. He's the one that's gonna get us out this captivity. We ain't looking to no Americanized voting, democracy, whatever they try to sell us. That's think that this is gonna help black people. It's not. The only thing that's gonna help black people is repentance and having the spirit that Frederick Douglass had in 1852. He wasn't falling for the lies. He said, "Are y'all crazy? All you got to go do is go look at the auction blocks and look at what y'all doing to us. What the hell y'all got me here speaking for?" He was appalled. Imagine that. That's like they calling him a coon. Oh, let's get good old boy Frederick Douglass to come speak at the 4th of July. He's going to give an amazing speech. He was embarrassed. Y'all got the nerve to call. Oh, they going to call me? Guess what? He let them have it. He let them have it because he was appalled that they had the audacity to call me. Who y'all think I am?
Stop playing with my name. Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
Reverend Al Sharpton. They thought he was Al Sharpton. But all praise to the Most High. That was the class for today. We got a lot of history in. Y'all go read their full speech. They actually got a lot of reenactments of people that reenacts their speech. James Earl Jones did one at a reenactment. So y'all can say if you just want to hear people, they got a lot of actors that reenacted too. That's how powerful it was. And they try to catch the essence of how he gave it. Because it was all in the newspaper. It was a big thing back then when he gave that speech. They was talking about it a lot. The Edomites, they weren't even, I don't know. They were trying to say they wasn't mad, but I guarantee they were pissed. They was pissed. So y'all check that out. Go on and let's do the shout outs real quick.
Shout out Marcus Wallace. Says Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shout out C Space Old Space God. Says Shalom, Shalom, Happy Sabbath.
Praise. I don't think you got to say the space though.
Shout out myself. Shout out MJ. Said Shalom, Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Shout out Jeremiah Judah. Said Shalom, Most High Christ. Bless. Happy Sabbath.
Shalom. Happy Sabbath.
Shout out Tiffany Gordon. She said Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shout out Righteously Jaleesa. She said we need our own holidays. I have connecting with my family and getting off work.
Righteously Jaleesa, all praises. Yep. We got our own holidays. They call holy days in the Bible.
Yeah, feasting all day. Shout out Nayara Israel. She says Shalom, Happy Sabbath.
Shalom, Shalom, Happy Sabbath.
Shout out Dub. He said, y'all just keep this stuff alive, don't you?
Yeah, hey, man, I don't know what you talking about, but what's up, Dub?
He said, what is the point with this? I see some scripture listed.
Go back and watch the video. It sounded like you came in like late.
So your Hebrew Israelites get Deuteronomy 31:21. Your relatives never had the song of Moses on their lips.
Oh my God.
You could, but you just don't want to. Ghetto Bible teaching, illiterate. There's neither Jew nor Gentile. If
Hey,
you are
Dub, put something in the chat if you still here. It seems like you got itchy fingers.
You believe you can point out one black male Israelite from the Bible, go ahead and try. You can't, and I already know that.
This is an Edomite.
Dub, you're yapping. He's teaching.
There you go, LJ. Shalom.
Shout out Anaya. She said shalom, happy Sabbath.
Shalom, Anaya. Shalom, shalom. Dub, if you still there, put something in the chat, man. We can cut you up. I got time.
Shout out Curtis. Cadet. Hi, my name is Curtis Cadet.
Shalom, Curtis. Shalom, Curtis. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I need some help, please.
Praises. Hit the number, Curtis.
Shout out T.I. Street, Tory Bowden. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath, Terry Bowden.
T.I. Street, Tory Bowden said, I am not a Hebrew Israelite, but I am a believer of Yeshua Yahweh.
Hey, you might be. You never know. What's your nationality, brother?
Shout out Katie Love. She said, shalom, family.
Shalom, Katie Love. All praise to the Most High.
T.I. Street, Tory Bowden said, www.Ty Street for you all to check out later.
Okay.
Shout out Yande Oladi. She said, greetings, brother. You are right.
Shalom, shalom.
The Baptist church teach nothing about the Passover.
All praises, yeah. You're right on that.
Shout out Jasmine Brooks. She said shalom.
Shalom, shalom, sis.
She also said shalom, Most High Christ be with you all. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath.
T.I. Street, Tory Bowden said thank you.
All praise. All praise.
Shalom. Shout out Jay. He said shalom, or they said shalom. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath, Jay. All praises. All praises. All praise. Dub, if you still here, man, we'll deal with you. If not, go back and watch the video, brother. Or get with us. Email. Or how about you email us? Let's email us, and we can go through some stuff. All right, that's it. Let's get Matthew 26 and close it on now. One second, Auntie. I'll be out there. Okay, how you doing? Let's get Matthew 26 and then we go close it on out.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26, starting at verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him and poured on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that the woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
So all praises for that memorial, Mary Magdalene. She comforted Christ in his time of need, and so much that he gave her that memorial. So once again, all praise to the Most High. Hey, everybody online, y'all give us a shout out. We want to be more in contact with y'all. You know, we want to definitely get more in contact with y'all and get with y'all. I think the brother, what was it, T.I. Street said he need help. T.I. Street, get with us, man. Get with us. We got the number. We should have the number in the description. So get with us, man. Definitely get with us. We see what we can do, man. That's what we about. So once again, all praise to the Most High. Pray that edification went out Y'all can do more research. Check out that Frederick Douglass speech, though. It was very enlightening, and it gives you a glance of what was going on in the year 1852. So once again, happy Sabbath. Enjoy the rest of y'all Sabbath. And with that, we say shalom.